And we're into the fun here. Dust2 to start things out. Home ground for MIBR. Gaimin Gladiators, though, no strangers to a little bit of that dust flare. This one should be a bit of a banger. Right off the rip, Cello skins his knee.
Yeah, Cello going down 84 here. 138 on the clock, though. Cynic is pushing up aggressively towards top mid. Something you're going to see more and more on Dust2 with that change towards dark corner, as you can see right there. Can't see from T-spawn towards double doors. And Carson is going to manage to get the opening frag on Cello. Nicely done there. 5v4 in favor. I know what you're laughing about, Mike.
Yeah.
Yep, the name, right?
It. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that, why that is in a second here. But it is a nice kill for Daisy. I might just keep that one. I kind of like that one for Carson. It's not bad at all. Bomb down, though. Makes this a decent post plant as well, especially if Woody can do any damage here out towards long. He's got the gloves. He's going to set himself up for a fight, and he still eats the first. Classy a little bit slower into it, but Woody's going to think it's clear. Uh-oh. Made a bit of an assumption here. This could be bad. Still, his teammates fighting through on towards Catwalk. It's an even exchange, but Classia now comes in for the extermination. He gets the third as well. Remember, folks, what happens when you assume is you make an ass out of you and me. And that's what Woody just did. Completely overlooked the second player in the longhouse.
Yep. It happens. It happens. And MIBR... Well, I mean, let's not forget yesterday when they were on Dust2, they went down 8-0 at the beginning. Could not pick up a T round for so long. Ended up almost making the comeback, but fell short at the end of it because the Party Astronauts found their game on their T side. But still, there are some question marks for MIBR here, and I think the Gaimin Gladiators can definitely exploit some of the issues they've been having here as of late. That's MIBR been having here as of late. Good nade thrown there by Gaimin Gladiators. Jota gets taken down to 75. The bomb plant does help MIBR get a proper buy up there, or at least a proper force buy, but I'm not sure how much difference it's going to make as Carson gets Jota, and it's a 5v4 in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. Rotation coming through here by MIBR. Seems like they want to go back towards this B site instead, but Classia is waiting right there. He had 3 frags in that opening round, looking to get another 3 potentially here. If he plays his cards right, nothing actually coming through. Turtle manages to take him down. George is right there to burn him alive. Gets one with 59, pulls out the USP, almost finishes off the third, but Cello survives along with Woody to at least get control of the bomb site.
Ooh. Trying to force that bomb down. Make some money here. That'd be a big kill to find for Cello. Suddenly this becomes doable. What's utility like for the retake? Just a smoke remaining. No nades. I could use an HE here. Problem is you're not going to be able to have any sustained fight. And there is a kit on the other side for Jazzpim, so they can take their time with it. Daisy clearing on in towards this site. Knows he's got Woody isolated, but for Woody, it's just about buying as much time as possible. And oh, there they go. Lickety split. Both kills found. No problem on here. A defuse comfortably taken through for the Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, at least MIBR going to get that bomb plant money for a second consecutive round. That'll help them out into this next one. And well, Gaimin Gladiators looking pretty much as you would expect. This is far from a sure thing for MIBR, in my opinion.
Sure.
Especially if Gaimin Gladiators take Dust2, then it becomes even more problematic. And I said that last night for the Party Astronauts. If they take Dust2, then MIBR might not be able to pick up a map. And then they went ahead and reverse swept. So you never know.
It does call to question why MIBR favor Dust2 as their pick, right? I mean, we've talked about it before. It's always a weird one to have as your pocket pick because
it is.
It's such a variable map. Even if you're very good at Dust2, it feels like it is one of the maps in the pool that, any given day, you run the risk of getting completely
same as Mirage.
Yeah, to a degree. I feel like Mirage plays a little bit more to form. A little bit more, but it does vary for sure. But for MIBR, I mean, it is a position of strength, especially when Nuke gets banned out. It's just a question of comfort. That map pool is maybe not as broad as they would like.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno looks a little rough. You look at their stats over the last 3 months. We will get Inferno if we go to map 3, but it's because 3 of those, I think 5 losses came up against tier 1 competition. So
yeah,
that's
you do have to add a little asterisk in there.
Yes, exactly. But
They've
anyway,
got a
it
path
looks
towards a bomb plant again
yeah,
here. This would be interesting considering how little they brought into the round, John.
absolutely. MIBR still have that AK up and running, the hero AK purchased by Cello, and they are going to get this bomb planted for Cat, which is great positioning for them because everyone is on that side. Cynic, Jazzpimp, and George trying to recover here. No frags recorded as of yet. George is lined up for one, just trying to find the head, and he still can't. Finally, Cynic connects, but Exit takes down George. Jazzpimp does manage to find Exit, and I think Class is going to get things back under control from Cat. He absolutely does, and that will leave only Jota, but no longer. So at least Gaimin Gladiators come back there, but MIBR, if there's one thing they've been doing right, is finding the gaps and getting that bomb plant.
Yeah, definitely a huge win given over to MIBR to get a bomb plant out of that round. Helps paper over the hero AK, right? Even if they don't really get the damage that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Interesting that Classy was so slow on that catwalk wraparound, right?
Yeah.
His teammates have MIBR completely pinned down. Nobody's watching the cat play. I think he assumed that they would be watching or wanted to try and find that kill. Ripper from Woody to take Classy out of this round. So definitely no chance for a cat play here. A little bit of an aggressive play out long. Now we see the guns out. We see the plan in action for MIBR. They won't be able to get away unscathed. Carson does find a bit of a pick, but comes back the other way immediately. This long fight is proving costly for Gaimin Gladiators. But Jackson will try and hold on to the territory, and he can do no such thing. All onto George now, and he's on the complete other side of the map, and he might just get blindsided by Exit here, who's crept in towards B. One shot to the side of the head, all it'll take. And while he's missed him for now, are they going to completely miss each other? No, there's the spot. Now he knows. Player going up on Xbox. He knows where the last player is. They'll be able to isolate this in. They'll be able to pinch the site. And George, well, his days may be numbered here. This would take an absolutely incredible play to make it happen. And presumably Exit is just calming to his teammates. Hey, chill out. Try and distract as much as possible. And there we go.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect coordination. You're absolutely right, Mike. MIBR throwing the utility, forcing George to look in that direction, and then he was taken down handily by Exit, who had that early spot from mid. So MIBR get their first round on the board on T-side a lot earlier than they did last night against the Party Astronauts. And I have to say, overall, they look far more composed here tonight than they did yesterday. Yesterday, one of their the worst things that was happening for them on their T-side is they were waiting way too long to go for their executes. And, you know, we both know, Mike, once you go down below that 20-second mark and your executes only starting at that point, your back is against the wall. And even if you're up against only Deagles, it becomes problematic. So hopefully that'll have worked its way out of the MIBR playbook here against Gaimin Gladiators. And they're going to toss a bit of utility towards that B site. Nade. And now a smoke going to be popped off in that direction. Just trying to keep the Gaimin Gladiators on their toes because it appears though that bomb is leaning more towards Cat, potentially mid to B. But MIBR still not showing their hand.
No, not quite. Pressure's going to be on for Cynic, though. Has a full belty utility to try and make this happen. No Molotov, though. That would be nice. How is this going to work? Where is the Molly? Classia. All the way over on towards B. .45 seconds on the clock. Here comes the execute from MIBR. They're making their move now. There's that utility being deployed for Cynic, but it does very little damage. Now at this point, he's just down to 2 flashes. And they've bailed? They've bailed. It was a fake. They pulled the util. Now they're pressuring in towards B.
Oh, no.
And that means Classy is the only one who's alive. He's the only one who's here. He's being pressured. The flash is on. Do they find him? Oh, he is. At least 2 as well. A tough situation, a tough spot here. And now they're getting bumped up. They have to deal with Classy to be able to get this bomb down, but they're at a disadvantage. What huge play. Classy, and a shot missed for Woody. This might just all be over, John.
Yeah.
So he gets a reset, but no one's watching tunnels.
I don't know if they have to, right? Because Carson can't really see anything. As long as Woody doesn't go beyond that box, he's fine, but Cynic cleans his clock. And now Jota's the last one standing, and he will go down as well. So MIBR, despite the fact they get the bomb plant, that last-minute decision to go for a rotation to the B site was with under 30 seconds left on the clock. And you saw they were stressed, trying to get into the bomb site. I think it was Cynic that found a couple. Indeed it was. And then, well, the Gaimin Gladiator just stormed on through. MIBR finding the bomb plants, but they need to consistently get these rounds on the board. And in that situation, they had every advantage.
Yeah, they really did have a ton of the positioning and control. And with only one player in the site, that just speaks to them being disjointed. They didn't leave themselves enough time to wait the Molotov. So once that Molly goes in, they've only got one kill. And Classy managed to exploit that to the tune of 2 kills. So really a bit of a blunder there. You have 5 players coming through, and there's one guy on site. Get him a 1-for-1. Don't give him the opportunity to take a multi-kill there to stall you out. It's a bit of a catastrophe for them. Still, missed opportunity. Should be able to reset, rebound into this one. They do continue to get these bomb plants, John, so they got money.
They do. They absolutely do. One player to watch out for is going to be Jota. He was a little slow to start on Dust2 last night, and in fact in the series as a whole, but then he picked up his game. And over the last 3 BO3s, he's got 144 frags, a plus 56 kill to death differential, and a 108 ADR. In fact, he's been the top ADR in 6 of their last 7 maps in Challenger League, with 100 plus ADR in 5 of those 7 maps. So definitely a damage dealer here for the MIBR squad that Gaimin Gladiators to deal with. So far they are, but Turtle pops out of long, gets 2, then Woody drops Cynic. What a take. 3 players are waiting there for the Gaimin Gladiators. MIBR did not miss a beat.
They did not. With control of Cowalk as well. I mean, Classy it down. This one's over. George just has to try and find a spot to hide this rifle, to bail on out, to slip away, and well, might have been a little bit too late to do so. Couldn't get into the hidey hole. Gets caught by Cello. Ali oxen free. It's all over on that one. Did you ever play Flashlight Tag?
I did not, no.
Great game. We would, there's one neighbor in the neighborhood I was in when I was like in elementary school, where they would organize these giant games of Flashlight Tag out in the yard after dark. And you had to, whoever was seeking people, you had to yell, Ollie oxen free. And it's like half tag, half hide and seek.
Where does the flashlight come in?
If you find someone, you shine your flashlight on them. And then they join the
yell?
seeking team. It's basically hide and seek. Ollie oxen free is what you shout once you're going to find people, right?
Oh,
but
okay.
no, if you shine your flashlight on someone, you get them.
Got it. Interesting. Interesting twist on tag.
Yeah. Times. Man, I hadn't thought about that in a long time. It just unlocked some memory deep in my brain bank.
Man. Just that one phrase.
Yep.
Just unlocked all those memories for you, Mike. Well, the first frag does come through here. Cello finding Classia, and for all intents and purposes, this should go to MIBR, even though it is a force buy coming through for the Gaimin Gladiators.
I don't know. I got this feeling that the Jasmine 5-7 clip comes through. Oh, he's giving it up. Never mind. He gave up the angle. Flash word. Yeah, he does get one, though. Not quite. Not quite a clip.
Cynic could be dangerous, though, here from CT.
He's definitely a threat. Less so once he's dead. Confidence is starting to flow here for the Brazilians. That's what they want. That pincer in towards mid, right? That pressure on, taking the fights, letting the force buys come through and not giving anything up to it. That's a huge confidence builder.
And Jota starting to find his groove, which always helps this MIBR squad. Woody was one of the key performers with MIBR yesterday on Dust2 when they were trying to make that comeback, being down 8-0. He wasn't only doing it with the big green, also with the scout, and this time he connects on George. It's a full-on ego for the Gaimin Gladiators. George lucky to be alive as Cello's doing the work, just walks onto the B side, says, hello, Carson. Casually take you down. Find himself a third on gas, and he's looking for the anti-ego ace here, but Turtle spoils his day with the last 2 frags, and pretty much no fuss, no muss there for MIBR.
No problem, right? And now they're ready to cruise into the lead with a big bank built up. It's going to be a nice asset for them going forward. We will get the investment here from Gaimin. It seems at least Cynic's gone into it. It's not going to be great. In fact, you got a UMP out on the field, sacrifice to get a lot of utility up, and Classio with a promise. This is distinctly not ideal. Decent amount of util, but not a lot working in their favor. There's just the one kit that's on George as well, so if he falls towards the B site, it could be really tough to retrieve. I guess that would require that he falls towards the B site and then it's an A hit, which probably wouldn't happen. But it's something to keep an eye on for sure.
that nade, yeah. Not as much damage as you think. Turtle only going down to 76, and George going to fall back with your favorite, Mike, the UMP-45.
Yeah.
Could do damage here with it, and he does! He was blinded, and he gets the headshot on Turtle. Now the car class is supporting. Jota gets the trade, so it is a 4v4. MIBR might want to bail off this. I'm not sure. Looks like they're going to keep taking the fight, and that was the right decision. George goes down to Cello, and now Gaimin Gladiators are just going to go for the retake, Mike.
It seems like when MIBR commits, they really commit.
Yeah.
Right? In towards every one of these takes. Sometimes to their detriment, to be quite frank, right? Like a single flashbang or a mistimed flashbang on their own side, as we saw there, can really offset their whole tempo and leave them very much exposed. But in a 3-on-4 here, even though Cello and Jota are so low, maybe that damage is unconfirmed. Maybe they don't know quite how low they are. And 4 crosshairs on the other side is never going to be an appetizing prospect. So Gaimin Gladiators are going to give this up. They're going to walk away with the 3 guns they've got. And that's going to be a huge dub for MIBR to take, because there were multiple moments in that take where it looked like things might be going off the rail.
Yeah, those little mistakes were costing them yesterday against the Party Astronauts on Dust2. They got caught on geometry a couple of times, in fact. Once on Inferno, I think it was, and just couldn't get to a bomb defusal. No, actually, no, both times on Inferno yesterday. One time at the B site near the water fountain, they couldn't get to the bomb because they got stuck on the fountain, and then at the A site ended up, or excuse me, on Nuke. It was at the B site. It was on 2 different maps. I'm getting all crossed up here, Mike, but regardless, MIBR lucky this time. The mistakes did not cost them. 5th round on the board. And they're just going to go for a quick take of long, and for good reason. No one's there.
They got the space. They got the fight. The last time Gaimin fought them here, incurred mass casualties, and this time they say, you know what? You can have it. Keep your long. We're going somewhere else. Carson's going to be in a tough spot here towards elevator. He's got teammates who can help him out from catwalk, but diving off the cat is Cynic as well. This position keeps off good flashbang. Good clear. Spot on the next player as well. Shots are wide for Cello, but Turtle's actually doing all the damage here. Bouncement from the site. Has been dealt with, and this is all over. A massacre.
Wow. Wow. This is the type of MIBR you want to see, you know? Very committed to their takes, no hesitation, a lot of confidence flowing through their veins, and quick rounds being picked up. And that's, as I mentioned yesterday, wasn't the case early on, but they did start to do it as things progressed. I think they were really wary and giving a ton of respect to the Party Astronauts on Dust2, which isn't as much the case here against the Gaimin Gladiators. Look at this long take again. They're going aggressively out. Good flashbang thrown. Cynic and Carson having to back off. Now they're going to try and retake that space. Could be a mistake, as Exit's already got out here. Carson will find him. That is Exit done and dusted, meaning that the Gaimin Gladiators will have control of long, and MIBR going to have a change of plans.
Where are they going with it now? Well, catwalk, it seems, might be the antidote. Gaimin Gladiators are putting out some preemptive utility, which could be a problem because they don't have any more. They don't really have much left. Jazzpimp is a single smoke. There's a couple flashes there. So it is certainly going to be tough whenever the take does come through. It's going to be out the guns. Can you get enough damage to make the retake viable for your teammates just with their crosshairs? Or, I mean, if you just kill everyone, that would also be okay. It's a fake thrown in towards mid, but this is a cat play. And I think Jazzpimp's going to realize that rather quickly, come in to reinforce. This now gets a whole lot better for the Gladiators. But a molly locks him out. Can Jazzpimp come in to help his teammate? Not really. No. Not without revealing a spot, and he's already deployed the smoke, so you can't do it whatsoever. Here's clear towards Goose. It's not good, though, and the spacing is awkward, but Cello is still able to take this through. That bomb not planted. Carson denying. It will eventually go down, and now it's just left Jota to try and defend. Play together on this retake. And that's a bit of a play from Jazzpimp, but it does set up enough information for his teammates to bring it through.
It was the right site to hit, looking at the spacing between the players on Gaimin Gladiators. The problem was they didn't really focus much attention on long. Great Molotov, though, to isolate Jazzpimp, ensure that Cynic was one and done, but it was Carson at long, taking care of business and getting the Gaimin Gladiators back on the board. But again, the bomb plants have been consistent for MIBR. Their economy is flourishing as a result. They've got 4 AKs, the op, full utility, and they will have that perhaps for the remainder of this half, regardless of the outcomes here in these last few rounds. Woody going for that early pick, and he does not get it. In fact, Cynic spots him out in dark corner, or in dark, excuse me, and he will get the opening frag for the Gaimin Gladiators. That is music to their ears, I'm sure. Now they're going to rotate around 3 players towards long. Just wanted to get that nade thrown and ensure that MIBR didn't go for another one of those quick takes. In fact, MIBR have really slowed down the pace of play after losing their IGL.
Gotta let it simmer for a little bit. Let it simmer on down. Where are they gonna go with it? This time there's plenty of utility held in reserve for the Gaimin Gladiators as well, right? So there's no issues there. Losing that initial pick is really gonna stink. They're trying to get something, anything, but it seems like they're gonna go back towards Catwalk. And once again, I'm curious about how quickly this setup goes to reinforce. A little bit more of a commit towards long. This would allow the path to the bomb plant again. We've seen MIBR take advantage of that, but the trick for them has been holding on to the post. Shell's going to make a big play, but right into the waiting arm. No problem there. All right. A chance. Clock hit from the scaffold. Drops the bomb, and no one's with him. So there's certainly no chance at a trade, and this is all falling apart for MIBR.
I like the ideas that came through individually for all the MIBR players, but it didn't come together as a unit. That's why you saw the one and dones coming through, the player jumping down to CT, and then the push comes through mid. But it had to happen at the same time, and even at the end, one player getting caught out towards scaffolding with the bomb on his back. So, yeah, it's going to happen sometimes. But MIBR will concede this round to the Gaimin Gladiators. Jokic is trying to save, but he gets caught up by Carson, misses the shot, and Carson does not miss his opportunity. Nice work with the AK. And we're tied up at 6. No op save, and in fact, the Gaimin Gladiators is going to grab that and go for the double op.
All right. Evened up entirely. Big swinging chunks here in Dust2 as each team has bit off their rounds in multiples. A lot of back and forth we've had, and now does MIBR want to take this? The bank still is strong, which is kind of absurd. Well, that's just the T side with repeated bomb plants for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Would chase Classy off this angle once again, putting Catwalk into doubt. Considering how often they've gone towards Cat, you got to imagine the Gaimin Gladiators might respond to this.
George waiting here at the B site with that incendiary grenade in his hands. As soon as he spots out a player, he's likely going to toss that forward. And there are 3 of them waiting on the other end for MIBR. Back and forth jiggling as Classia has that big green. But George is going to go back and throw that Molotov. Jazzpimp ends up getting the opener on Cello. The Molotov holding MIBR at bay for the time being. And in fact, they've completely abandoned the thought of going to that B site, even though they just lost a player on Cat. So not really that much map control for MIBR, but they did send one out towards mid. So that's something that could deny rotations for the Gaimin Gladiators if the space is gained on the A site. And I say if because Jazzpimp's primed to take down Woody. Flashbang thrown, and he gets it. Great support by Classy, and exactly, Mike. The bomb dropped at Jazzpimp's feet.
The number of times that MIBR just leave a guy out on an island where it's like either you're going to win your fight and win your duel, or you're going to die and we're going to be able to do absolutely nothing with your death. It's a lot of rounds, especially, and they're very careless with the bomb as well.
Yes, it's second round in a row, right? That they've let the bomb carrier buy his lonesome.
And I understand there that maybe the guy in towards mid is setting up a pick or setting up a flashbang for the Catwalk player or something. But it's still very haphazard. MIBR now staring down the barrel of losing the half out to the Gaimin Gladiators, and considering the situation we were in, this is quite the adjustment out from the Gladiators. Right? They've rallied. Took them a little while to get a tempo for MIBR, but now they seem to have these reads, and MIBR are falling into some tendencies that aren't exactly encouraging.
Yeah, it reminds me of their T-side yesterday on Dust2. Luckily for them, though, they already have more rounds than they did against Party Astronauts on T-side. They had 5 yesterday, 6 here, and they have a much better economy than they did at any point yesterday on Dust. 4 AKs and an off full utility as well, and they should still be able to buy in the next round, even if they lose here. So let's see what it will yield. Are they going to mix things up? Try to go to that B side a little more aggressively, perhaps. We saw that quick A pop come through a couple of times, and they're sending 3 into the upper B tunnels, but I don't think this is going to be an immediate push. Yeah, they are just going to take their time. 1 player waiting here. That's exit. Looking for someone to get a little cheeky and push up for the Gaimin Gladiators. But to the Gladiators' credit, they've played a very disciplined CT side. Not much not many aggressive pushes. We saw it a little bit at the beginning, but they've been waiting.
Yeah, for the most part, they played very measured, which has been working out for them, especially in these rounds where they get an initial pick. They really don't want to give anything over to MIBR. They really want to sit back, and it has worked because, as we've seen, the Brazilian side takes a while to figure out what their next move is when that happens. Run boost in, flashbang as well. Cynic off the angle, and he can't get away. Tried to escape around the boxes, and Cello will prevent that. So, operation successful here for MIBR, and now they do set their sights on towards A. They got no bailout strat. It's all going to be the hit on in here. There's a player coming through long, but it's a little late to join his comrades. This could be bad. This could be a little rough.
They're getting stuck.
Wait the sight. What is Turtle doing here? Eventually, you got to go through. All right, he's going to find that space. They've got this initial play. On ramp, but Daisy strikes at just the right moment, making that happen here. The beautiful flower that is Carson. The kills. Now the long player can come on in, but it's a little bit too little too late. Turtle only gets the 1, and now Jazzpimp can readjust. This has gotten really awkward. I don't know if they realize you have to step all the way around. Oh, George reads it, expects it, sets up a smoke for the push as well. And now they don't even have a bomb plan, right? They have nothing working for them. Turtle's going to have to make a hero play happen here, and he's only got 10 seconds to do it. And they're just going to wait him out. Why not? As I say, they don't wait him out. All right, Jazzpimp.
Yeah, he's just going to spam smoke, and it was the right play, right? They knew he was around that vicinity, and then Jazz just finishes him off. So the Gaimin Gladiators are going to take a lead into the second half. Whether it'll be 8-7 or 9-6, we'll find out. Thing is, MIBR, that confidence we saw flowing before, Mike, not so much the case there. They really stalled out on Cat. They could have pushed up way sooner than that.
I also don't know what the timing is supposed to be there for Turtle, right?
Yeah.
His teammates are on the site before he's even going through the long doors. By the time he gets into the angle, by the time he gets into position, it just doesn't matter. It's way too late. I'd understand if they sat there for a tick. Now he's going to kill everybody this round to make up for it. So I like that.
Yeah.
But I'd understand if they sat for a tick, right? And then let the hit come. Don't understand that timing. This is working out, though. The long fight has paid dividends, and they've got a player in pit. So the question is, can Cynic get away? Obviously, it's better if he can just get this kill. But he's in position, and now he's gonna get shot eventually. On the Glacia, as MIBR look to steal back one final round here. Like, when the play winds up being straightforward, like, they just go into the long fight, and you're there for the long fight, MIBR is great.
But that's what they need to do more. They need to stop overthinking their plays and just go for the hit. They gained the space up Cat. Go. Don't stop. You had 2 frags. You just go and take that site.
Kill comes in from Yoka. And there we go. We will take a quick break here. Be back with half number 2. Into the fun we go. Into the fun we go here. Pistol round underway between the Gaimin Gladiators and MIBR. If still in lead for the Gaimin Gladiators. MIBR is going to be looking to take back some momentum, but Yota may not be part of that puzzle. He gets peppered down. It took a whole lot of bullets to finish him off here, but he is down to the count. Now Catwalk's being lost here in a big way. Woody, though, oh, he secures it and drops the bomb straight into CT.
Yeah, that bomb just landed right in his lap, Mike. Bounced off the edge of Cat. And there you have it. Now Clasia is going to try and get it back. He's picked up a USP off the ground and taps a shot on forward, but is the only one there towards long. He needs these two players that are both on different parts of the map as well. Jasmine trying to come up mid, and all of his shots not connecting. Turtle drops him. Clasia at least gets one and keeps it at a 2v2, but they need to find another one here, and Clasia could get Turtle. He spots him out, and Cynic drops exit. That makes it a 2v1. What a crazy pistol round. It says Bin, and it will go the way of the Gaimin Gladiators at the end of the day, even though MIBR had control of the bomb. I guess the fact that the Gaimin Gladiators came from 3 different angles caught MIBR off guard.
Well, now.
That was a weird one.
Yeah. Well, now. MIBR. I feel like it's been a weird map for them in general, right?
Yeah.
Like, so many moments where it feels like they're just going to pull away, where they just got the momentum, and then mistakes. Mistakes creep in. Errors. Oversights. You know, leaving an extra player out at the longhouse and assuming that's clear. That was way earlier in the map. It's just those kind of moments have crept up here a lot for the Brazilian squad, and for a team that is much more experienced than their opponents in terms of international top-level competition.
Yeah.
That's not what you're looking for.
It's also weird, Mike. You'd expect a more solid performance on an insta-lock like this, which it seems to be an insta-lock of Dust2.
They certainly do like to go for it early in these vetoes, and it is very messy for them, which part of that is just how Dust2 plays. It's a messy map sometimes. But if you're going to make this your home ground, if you're going to make this your favorite map, look you to show us just a little bit more. Turtle's not going to show us anything in this round. He's dead.
Gotta be careful of Woody, though, with that scout. As I mentioned yesterday, was a key contributor on their CT side. With the scout. Jota waiting at Cat. Carson. Likely going to charge up soon, but the Gaimin Gladiators stalling up for a moment. They want to get that utility thrown on forward, and they do force Jota off the angle. Woody swings around, can't connect on the scout shots this time, at least not just yet. And now that Molotov can put a ton of pressure on him. Great flashbang thrown by Carson, and now the A site has been cleared, but Jota from CT gets the headshot on Cynic. He could even do more damage here, but no. Clasia, nice little peek, finds it with the AK. That'll leave only Exit and Cello, whose position is now known because Clasia just cleared what one.
All right, double digits found here for the Gladiators. They are, in fact, Gaimin. Let's see if Exit can find... Oh, I'm going to do it, John. An exit kill.
Yeah, it's just... It's hard not to say it, right?
You cannot. You cannot. It's just what they're called. It's just what... It's not even a pun. It's just what they're called, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, he's been having a rough individual map, right? So he could use some exits. Something to bolster the stat line to make it. So if he's got tab bound, he's feeling a little bit better about that one.
He's actually the best KDR player coming into this one at 1.79 KDR in 7 maps played and a plus 52 kill to death differential.
Well, he's going to have to pick up that performance if he wants to get back to those numbers. Play up tunnels doesn't work out very well, and here comes the overwhelm on towards site that advantage. It's a little disjointed play here for the Gladiators, perhaps, because, well, they've got someone up A. All the way up A, apparently. And instead of rerouting to join him, they're going to crunch in towards B with everybody. They're like, hey, I cleared all of A, so let's go B, guys. This seems like a plan. And it's a plan that'll work quite well for them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the Gaimin Gladiators for you. But They obviously realized that their opponents only had pistols, tons of confidence, and it was still a pincer attack onto the B site. And with Jasmine coming through from CT, could have caught players outside towards mid. But at the end of the day, they do take care of business and extend their lead now to 4 rounds. That said, MIBR are going to be on a full-on buy here, finally on their side. It's going to be 4 A1Ss. And the AWP Jota just spamming through the smoke, fending off a push at long, and the utility as well, doing that job for them too. Now, Gaimin Gladiators will in fact back off of the long hit, so long control belongs to MIBR. They don't know it because the smoke is blocking their vision, and they have fallen off of it.
Oh, Nate! Trevor's getting chased down here, but he bails. He's back behind the doors. That could have been really bad. Transition here instead. Yota with the spam through the doors is doing a ton of damage, and everybody's mid. There's one player in the tunnels who's going to try and make some noise, try and distract, but Exit is playing this beautifully. And that's a great round for Exit.
He heard
a
you.
4K from him. He heard me call him out, and he's ready to get into the fun.
Wow, that was a very clean 4K to look at. Charlie's like, yeah, good job, man. I like it. And he's also probably nodding because he wants to drop, and he does get one. A1S in his hands. He's pumped too. They're happy to get that round.
I think they're probably all in the same room.
Yeah.
So fist bumps on land available. Fist bumps online.
They are.
I guess this qualifies as fist bumps online.
Technically, yes.
The rarest of fist bumps. I know you putting 2 fist emojis in the Discord doesn't count, folks.
Gaimin Gladiators trying to bounce right back here. Another full-on buy coming through. Jasmine does get that perfect smoke thrown onto double doors. And George will see a smoke bloom right in his face on Cat, so this will likely cause a stalemate between the 2 squads, and indeed it is. No one really moving a muscle towards either Cat or mid. Long is a bit interesting right now because Carson's pushed out towards blue box, and you have Turtle waiting in pit, unbeknownst to Carson or, of course, Cynic. So this could get dangerous, especially considering it looks like this is where the Gaimin Gladiators want to hit, and the bomb is down there as well. Cynic is going to get the opener, though, on Woody, so that will help.
Great entry. They needed it, right? They needed something. And he's going to deliver, and now things are going to get pretty tricky. I don't want to peek back in here, but Turtle does find the timing. He backs up towards blue box. Now, Carson should have this. He does indeed, and now pressure on towards site. Big kill to find. No margin for error here. 20 seconds. Can Cello be that error? He find just enough of the margin. They have to flash across. Oh, and they get through. That's the most important play, just getting the bomb on towards site because they had no time to spare. So with that going down now, yeah, this does indeed turn in towards the save.
You have to. I mean, the money is so bad for MIBR right now. They have an AK and A1S, need to get that into this next round. And the Gaimin Gladiators, well, they know it, and they are going to chase. The health is not exactly great for them. We have Jasmine, half health, decides, well, I want to try and find these last 2. And he's going to go into those lower tunnels and just park himself there for a moment, but now he slowly treks on forward. You see Cello jumping around back and forth, trying to spot the information. And I like the way Exit and Cello are playing this back-to-back, supporting each other. We'll see if they'll be able to survive. And well, Jasmine just stalls out in the upper tons, peeking around the corner, Exit at risk, but he is not going to go for the NA save, Mike. He backs off and completely ensures that the gun will get carried over here.
He hasn't become fully NA yet.
No.
Give him another couple seasons. We'll get him on it. We'll get him on that save. Going for one more. Going for one more peak.
Go for the peak, right?
Gotta have that fight. The Gladiators, though, I mean, they've only conceded the 1 round since the half switch. It's been looking good. It's still early days, but this chase up gets red, gets predicted. The aggressive playing towards mid, they were waiting for it. And now they're up 2 players without having taken a bullet of damage back in turn. And Woody looks like he wants to sell the farm to try and bet down on this again. Putting it all on the table. Tag, so that'll chase him back off of it. This could be dangerous, really, at this point. If Gaimin just group up and hit, there's very little that MIBR are going to be able to do to hold them at bay. The question is, where do they want to do it?
There's a huge gap at the B site.
Yeah, it's open. If they go B, it's a save for MIBR. An immediate trigger. I don't mind this, right? You do have to kind of gamble when you lose 2 players on a risky play at the beginning. But it certainly does mean this is liable to become a save.
I think worst case scenario is that Carson pops out along and gets a frag and then he goes back for cover.
Yep.
And then that's really going to spell trouble for MIBR.
And you know it's going to, right? Money's here now. They don't really need to be too worried about it. This hunt is valuable for Carson. Well, there's the spot, but not the kill. Turtle stays in his shell.
And exactly what you predicted, Mike. They immediately go for the save once that bomb gets planted, as they should. They had no control on that side of the map at all. The only thing is all 3 of them are isolated, and Woody's going to hear these footsteps very shortly. Is George going to expect him here? No, not at all. Woody just watches him for a moment and says, oh, okay, now's the time to fire away. And he does drop. Exit should find one too, but what a flashbang thrown by Cynic in support of Jazzpimp. Exit couldn't even see it coming and then goes down. So only a couple of rifles will be saved forward here by MIBR, and Gaimin Gladiators rack up another round here. And as you mentioned, this second half has been just perfect for them.
Now, here's my question, right? You got enough money to go for another buy here. Turtle drops a gun over to Yota, then suddenly Cello and Exit, they can buy for themselves. So they're going to go for it again, but MIBR is winding up in this situation where it's never going to be that good. It's going to be fine. It's never going to be great. And the op actually does come out here for Woody, so that's an interesting investment. That really does mean they're going all in on this. Should get a decent chunk of utility as well.
Good, yeah.
It could be a lot worse. This is viable for MIBR. But if you don't win here, you got no money. And so then we're starting to get into end of map scenario.
Yeah. I mean, the first half was great for MIBR until like the latter part of it when things started to slip away a little bit, but much better than yesterday. And now the second half is the one that's been the struggle. Still not over, but, you know, taking the risk here, forcing into a buy-up that's still pretty good. 3 A1Ss, the op and the AK, but the money is just bad for everyone except for Woody, who's at 2.2K. Timeout being called here, I'm assuming, by MIBR to talk things over because it's such a critical round. But yeah, should they lose here, it'll likely be Gaimin Gladiators on to 15. And they'll need to win 7 in a row just to push it to overtime.
Hopefully this pause will be resolved in just a flash here, as we do want to just get back into the fun. I'm certainly having fun with this game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is a pause of a technical nature, apparently. So I guess whatever's going on with George will hopefully be resolved soon. He's moving. That's encouraging.
Just dropped something or switched guns or something here. Is it a technical issue?
It's a technical pause, certainly, according to the magic ticker bot.
Ah, okay.
But I don't know what it's about exactly.
No information on that side.
John, how's your day going?
It's going all right. Going all right. I was playing some Mass Effect earlier. That's a solid freaking game, man.
You telling me about it. I'm at some point I got to get my playthrough started. Never touched one of those games before. So
you must. There have to be some Mass Effect fans in the chat here. It is a fantastic trilogy. The only blemish on it was the ending to 3 that they kind of tried to fix, so that's good. But yeah, go play it.
I'll have to do it. I played one of the Dragon Ages and I enjoyed that, so I think I'm into it. You know, the BioWare style game. I'm eager to check it out. It's just one of those games that I think I'm gonna have to chunk out a decent block of time.
Oh yes, yeah. You need a lot of time. I've been sinking in. I'm on a bit of vacation from my full-time job right now, and I've been sinking in hours to Mass Effect. Yeah,
there we go. That explains why you started this.
Yes.
There's another exciting announcement that I just saw slapped onto Twitter here. You're going to be casting the GG for All League.
Yes.
Very exciting.
The impact, I'm really excited about that, Mike. And honestly, you know, I have 2 daughters who both love to play games, and I told them about it right after it was announced, and they were excited. And one of my daughters, my youngest, was like, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to play professionally." And I was like, practice and you can do it. So it's just exciting for me, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to watch. It's a little late into the night, but I might let them stay up a little bit later to watch that one, because I think it's they'll be able to relate a lot to it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's super cool, and it's a huge part of why these leagues are so important.
Yeah.
And it's also just really cool to see sort of the generations of gamers, right? Like you've been involved in Counter-Strike for ages, very
So
long
long.
time,
Yes,
and now
yes.
for your kids, to be interested in games and in competition and esports
Yeah.
competition, and to have you as a father where you can genuinely support them and understand what it is and how
Hmm.
to how to go about it and why it matters and why it's important. That's just so cool. It's that sort of generational change that I think is going to be huge for the continued growth of esports, where, like, I mean, you think about sports dads or moms or whatever, where they played it when they were a kid, and they
Yeah.
have lessons that they can impart from what they learned and when they competed and that kind of thing. It's something that we haven't had in esports purely from an age perspective, but it's definitely changing.
It's
I mean,
starting.
you look at like Ben the Legend, who was just making the rounds on
Yeah.
Twitter after Pro League. We love supportive parents in esports.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now that you mention it, of course, like I think it's been 20 plus years that I've been involved in Counter-Strike in some shape or form, whether it be commentating or playing myself at a high level. Um, but yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. I was playing with them the other day, or at least my oldest, I was playing with her, and it's just so cool to like impart the wisdom that I've gained over so many years of playing the game,
You were
and to
playing
try and
CS
help
with
her.
them? That's
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
with my oldest. My youngest wasn't playing with me at the time, but yeah, no, it was the first time we had played together, because I was waiting, because it's kind of scary to bring your kids into the Counter Strike
Yes. Yeah. You're like, all
environment.
right,
Let's
so
say,
just
right?
voice enable 0,
Yes,
and we're
exactly.
gonna learn how to play the game, and now I'm gonna get you a voice changer to make you sound 45, and
Yeah. I I still haven't gotten the microphone set up for them yet, because I don't want them to get, like,
yeah,
obviously.
no,
But
fair. Everyone's experienced it. There's a
yeah,
moment where it'll happen, but maybe you want to kick that can down the line.
yeah, eventually it'll happen, and hopefully, people are becoming more accepting and welcoming, across the board. And I think that that trend is more positive now, which is really fantastic. I think I'm excited because, like, both my daughters will grow up in a generation that won't have these bad tendencies that occurred in the past. Hopefully, right? So
Hopefully.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there will always be some elements of things, I
of
think,
course, of
but
course.
certainly we can strive to improve and make it better for the next generation, and that's exactly what like we're trying to do, and certainly something that the Impact League is trying to do as well, which I think is super cool.
I love it.
So, it seems like this issue is going to take just a hot second to resolve here, folks. So I'm going to try my favorite ever fix for technical issues, which is throwing to a break, and we'll be right back after they're resolved. All right. Back into it. Thanks for bearing with us there. Just had to get a little ping issues sorted on out here. Get everyone content on into the server. Shoutouts to Exit Lag for making that easier to resolve. But we should be hopping right back into the action. The question is, have the Gaimin Gladiators cooled at all? Because they have been running the show since the half switch, and MIBR would desperately love to be able to put a halt to that.
Yeah, they really do need to. This is a critical round for them. And they have one player playing on long plat. And Woody supporting. A long corner with the AWP. He did go down in the engagement previously to Cynic. See if Cynic can come out on top once more. In fact, Cynic's just watching top mid. Turtle gets the opener and the second one. Classy and Carson just walked right into his crosshair. Don't expect him at this angle. George finally does get the trade, but it's still a man advantage in favor of MIBR. Cynic going to toss that flashbang over towards long and then makes his way into pit. So the Gaimin Gladiators far from out of this round. And, oh, Cynic, if he connected on that shot. It was a hard one, but if he did, it would have been a big one.
We're going them way back into this. He's going to go looking, though. Oh, my goodness. He doesn't have it. Woody, a little bit quicker on it. Thought maybe that shoulder would appear around the corner just a bit too early, but no, the right eye peak does not lead him to victory. Woody able to maneuver his way out of the crossfire there. Now, this could be a pretty darn tough take, especially with no smokes and a player coming at their flank. Yeah, you're just going to have to cross at some point, and, well, you're not going to be able to. Nice round for Woody. Wow. Nice shooting with that AWP, and it's a 9th round on for MIBR, so the tech pause does him good.
And another pause.
No.
No, it's a tactical. It's a tactical.
Okay.
Yeah. You're good.
When I was talking to Alan Hender at one point about sort of pauses coming right out of timeouts, one of the things that he pointed out, especially on LAN, right, is as a coach, you can't talk at all. None of the players can talk at all as well after a technical. So after a particularly lengthy technical, you almost have to take a timeout just to get everyone back on the same page and make sure that everyone's fired up and knows what the game plan is. Because if you sit there for 15 minutes saying nothing, the mind wanders.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that one. MIBR, though, getting a critical round victory in that previous round. And one thing that's been great for them is Turtle firing on all cylinders. He's up to 19 frags, one away from 20. We'll see if this round delivers. This Gaimin Gladiators are going to take control of mid. MIBR not challenging too much. They have 3 players nearing this A site, 2 on the A site proper, 1 over at long. And I think it's a good decision for Turtle to come back and toss that Molotov on through, because you see Carson says, oh, okay, Molotov thrown, I'm going to back off and go towards that cat hits. That's long control gained for MIBR, and now they just have to focus their attention on cat, should this be where the Gaimin Gladiators decide to hit. But there is an opening at mid, and a mid to be smoked, not going to be thrown yet. I think Carson wants to peek around and see what's going on here before getting that smoke tossed, and that's what they're going to do.
Here we go. Smoke on in. The pinch in towards B could be really dangerous here. It's going to be up to Cello. An exit to make something of this before the teammates can come in and help. They're being overwhelmed. The spots are held. The Turtle. Oh! Turtle finds a gap, and Turtle finds so much damage at just the right moment. Not only does he find those 2 kills, but as he gets those kills, it also completely distracts the Gaimin Gladiators, so then the players on site can reinforce and take through the rest. What a play from Turtle. That was from the catwalk, if I'm not mistaken. And
yeah,
critical.
It was catwalk. You know, he just pushed down cat and spotted them out through the doors. Fantastic work, and had to thread the needle. You don't see those players for very long when you're staring down cat from cat towards mid. So good on Turtle again. He's on to 21. MIBR into double digits at 10 rounds, and the Gaimin Gladiators reeling a little bit. I think that long pause hurts them a lot more than it does MIBR, because Gaimin Gladiators had all the momentum, and now their feet are a bit cold, and it was in fact them that were having the issues. So yeah. 1:16 on the clock. Clasia just looking up towards cat.
It's got that 1 AK, right? That hero rifle. See if they can find something with it that can rally here. They could use a little bit of that special sauce. They had MIBR on the ropes for so long. That's a lengthy timeout. Have them cool. Classy, dead man. That rifle can be retrieved, but they're going to have to try and get out of the fray of bullets coming their way. And Turtle is holding court. No problem there for Turtle. He has climbed out to the lead for this team. 22 kills on the board. A big number here and a huge part of their success as he finds another, because in this half, he's now started to really shut down that catwalk play.
Yeah, 2 or more frags over the last 3 rounds, and he hasn't died either throughout that time. Cello going to drop Carson, last one standing. Of course, this was just a half buy for the Gaimin Gladiators, so you kind of expect MIBR to get it, but in such a convincing fashion, wasn't necessarily expected. Turtle, great work. Going into round number 25 here now. Gaimin Gladiators have seen their lead dwindle down to only 2 rounds. 3 of players from MIBR are going to go towards that long play on the defense. Flashbang's going to get thrown. Trying to take control of it. Flashbang's very effective. In fact, that one from Carson blinding his teammate, and Turtle takes advantage of it. He's all over the map. Jasmine does manage to find Jota through the smoke from Longhouse, and Turtle's going to re-smoke it from pit to ensure that the Gaimin Gladiators can't press forward any further, but that's a good trade to find at the very least.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad for them. And now this is going to be interesting. Where do they actually want to take it, right? They don't have any information in towards the tunnels, but likewise, there hasn't been any pushes out for the MIBR side. You saw Glacia a little bit wary that someone could actually be way back in towards D-spawn, so he's clearing that out to make sure the flank wasn't going to come through. They've been punished by that a couple of times, and I want to be a bit wary of it. It's going to be up to Woody. Up to Woody to clear it, and he's going to see a player just slowly moving into his crosshair. That's a freebie. That one's easy for Woody.
That was too slow.
Way too slow.
I think Cynic misjudged his positioning there and didn't realize he was exposed.
So what are they going to be able to do? 2 smokes. If you can get this kill on the offer, you can throw the cross smokes and get towards sight, but that's a big if. And Woody is going to have another freebie as Carson just goes a little bit too wide. Shows a bit too much to his body and gives that Brazilian opera a chance to strike again. And Woody is looking for more. Shotgun up. Bullet between the eyes. Looking to take this one through. Will not be able to.
Is Turtle going to die again? I mean, my goodness.
Maybe not.
He hasn't over the last 4 or 5 rounds. 16 deaths, but 25 frags, leads the server. And in fact, almost doubles up on the top 2 fraggers there for Gaimin Gladiators, Glacia and Carson at 28. So,
I mean, look, Turtles can live a long time. Maybe we should change his name to Tortoise. Going full Galapagos on us. Never gonna die again. What's this walkout from Carson? Or should I say Daisy? Just such a gentle name for a guy who's, you know, auto-muted, because he's maybe he's less than gentle in his communications when he plays the game.
Clearly. I don't even know how that happened. How many times do you have to be reported?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. But here comes a bit of a massacre. Oh, and it's looking good. So far for the Gladiators, they're going to be able to find a couple of guns out there towards the cars. There's a rifle already picked up for Carson. He's going to try. Yota spots the offer, but this might be a trap to lure him on in. Oh, Yota striking, doing good damage. Trying to bring his team back into control, and they're doing exactly that. Carson's going to get this plant money. That's huge already. A big win.
Yep.
And he's got a chance to win this. 1-2, he does have armor. And he's got the rifle, and he's been able to reposition. Wants to go bold. That is bold. They're coming up. They're right in his face, and they are going to be able to trade out this kill. So only one survives. Only one limps through, but they do get the round. Still, that got way too close.
Yeah, that was just the pistols coming through, and finally Turtle going down right off the bat. Couldn't even get a frag, I don't think, in that round. And once the Gaimin Gladiators found the first 2 over at long, they just charged on forward to the site, and everything started to go their way. Luckily for MIBR, the frags did come back for them, and they tie this up at 13-13, but they only one player survives out of that previous round, meaning their economy takes a significant hit. Luckily for them, they can afford to, because they still have a decent chunk of change in their pocket. They have to be careful here. Oh, Shota just pushes the smoke and takes down George. Now he's going to jump on top. No, he's not going to jump on top. He can't. He doesn't have the boost, but still, he's going to look for another frag here. Decides to fall off eventually, and there we go. MIBR settling back into their defense. It's a great opening.
It is a great opener. The classic, trying to jump through the smoke to get the position out by the blue dumpster, finding out that there's a player in your spot, saying, hey, I have these seats reserved.
Oh.
That was a bold one from Carson. Didn't realize there was a player in pit, and he wanted to take that space. So, well, you might have a tough spot here. Turtle doesn't care. He finds 2 out of the spot. He is so dang good right now. And the Gaimin Gladiators have come to a complete shuddering halt here as they get nothing done into this round. And MIBR pulls into the lead.
Yeah, not a single round going the Gaimin Gladiators' way since that timeout ended. It's been all MIBR. And now they only need 2 more to close this one out and take it on over to map number 2 on Ancient with their map pick in their back pockets. But we're still far from that point because the Gaimin Gladiators could make a comeback. It only takes 1 round. 2 AKs, make that 3, a Galil, and the Tech 9. And they're kind of trying to decide where they want to go. It seems like it's going to be towards long now, and they will have the space to take it. No one's in pit this time. MIBR playing very passively onto the A site, and I think part of the reason why is because they have the double op setup running now. One of those ops towards B, but Cello, actually both ops at mid. Turtle's going to get 1 on Classia, but gets traded up by Jazz Pimp, and now long control belongs to Gaimin Gladiators.
It does indeed. And while it's just a Tech 9 that they've got in the pit is still a strong position. Yeah. Don't know that you want to duel an op. Woody gets away with that. If it was anything other than a Tech, you think Carson would have been a little bit faster to respond to try and punish that, but there's just no way you're going to get home with that pistol at range.
No. That was a little bit of luck.
Speaking of a little bit of luck, he's blinded up on that one. He still got it. And it's all falling to Carson as Matt Point is on deck. MIBR, they've done it the hard way. They've done it as a full slug, but now they've got 2 prime chances to put this one away.
Yeah, I mean, Woody started to wake up at the right time when Turtle slowed down a bit. He was there with the op, and I say Turtle slowed down, but he still had 2 frags there from pit. Almost a third, but ended up getting shut down. So he's been solid. Almost on to 30 now. We'll see if MIBR shuts it down right here. Full loss bonus coming in for the Gaimin Gladiators, so they will have 3 AKs, a Galil, and a MAC-10, which is certainly not too shabby with your backs up against the wall, and OT is far from out of the question. George going to toss that smoke onto the doors, and then make his way up Cat. Engagement coming here. Woody getting very aggressive with the op, spots out a player, decides not to take the shot, and falls off of it. Siddick did take some damage there, not sure how, but he is down to 39.
That's amazing that Woody doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
Not even he doesn't get caught. He almost thought about posting up on Catwalk and then realized, you know what? They probably have that angle.
I think it's best that he didn't fire a shot.
Yeah. He would have gotten collapsed upon, certainly.
Yeah.
So he gets away, keeps that op in play. It's amazing how little utility they have, but that's not really going to matter if Cello goes forward and finds shots like that. And a repost as well in towards mid, so if they're tempted to chase that AWP, what are they going to do? They certainly know there's 2 on the field right now. And on comes the play in towards Catwalk, but Yota wants to get ahead of it. He wants to get right into the fun, right into the action. There's still a curtain of smokes, but this spam might just be enough, and indeed it is. A 1-for-1, maybe not ideal there, but his teammates now have the early warning, and Woody will take another swing. That's the bomb down. That's just Cynic remaining, and that's going to be a massacre. Map 1 goes the way of MIBR, and we're going to take a quick break here before we get ready for map number 2.